Veteran Jos Verstappen returns to F1 with Minardi, where survival of the fittest often means some exploitation of the rules. Rookie teammate Justin Wilson was slowest in Friday qualifying and therefore first out on Saturday. Both drivers aborted their qualifying laps, opting to start from the pit lane, allowing the team to work on their cars overnight. Fastest man on Friday was Rubens Barrichello. His time on Saturday makes it an all-Ferrari front row. But Kimi Raikkonen is the first victim of the new regulations. One small error is all it takes. He will start the race from 15th, not the way McLaren intended to kick off their 2003 championship campaign.
No?
Too slow.
This what?
I had a couple of mistakes on this.
Did you? It's alright. You're only human.
Yeah.
What's it like driving a car in qualifying with lots of fuel on board and race brakes and so forth?
It's a bit strange, you know, like the first few break-ins to get the hit into the brakes, you really get a stand on it. You know, you stand on the brakes and your ass just comes off the ground and everything, all the pressure you're putting.
So much for putting the brakes on this man.
You complain so much, the media, that obviously somebody felt something had to be done. So now we have to live with the result.
He's looking to start the season as he finished in 2002, but top grid spot does not guarantee top podium step. As everyone wonders about possible strategies, there's a real air of unpredictability. And there's a threat of rain. Bridgestone runners are using an intermediate tyre, while those on Michelin's have a shallow wet, which is in between a wet and an intermediate tyre. F1 moves into unknown territory, and Kimi Raikkonen dives into the pits for fuel and dry tyres at the end of the formation lap. It could prove an inspired decision. Rubens is a little too keen to get going and could pay for that later. But it's too late now. F1 2003 is off. Panis makes a good start for Toyota and wrestles Montoya. But his Michelin dry tyres have not reached optimum temperature yet, sending him backwards down the field. The lightly fueled Saubers dispose of him quickly, followed by Button, Villeneuve, Trulli and Alonso. Coulthard is next to overhaul Olivier. The F2002 maintains its dominance. At the end of lap 1, the Ferraris lead by nearly 6 seconds. But Montoya is on the move. The risk of rain is diminishing and dry tyres are the way to go. DC is quick to respond. Barrichello's start line error finally catches up with him and he gets a drive-through penalty. He's on a hot lap, but a heavy slide into the barriers cools his charge before he even gets to the pits. A momentary loss of control and he's out of the race. There's no time for recriminations. Michael Schumacher pits. He should have changed tyres earlier. Montoya has been blisteringly quick, while Michael's intermediates have just been blistering. A troublesome wheel plays into the hands of Juan Pablo. Offs from D'Amata and Furman keep the mechanics busy, while the safety car comes out. Montoya leads Alonso, Trulli, Ralph, Webber, Raikkonen, Michael and Coulthard. On the restart, Mark Webber loses fourth almost immediately to Raikkonen. Williams hope their chassis can maximise their BMW engine this year as Ralph closes on the top 3. Webber was eager to equal last year's excellent 6th place, but suspension failure ends his Jaguar debut prematurely, bringing out the safety car again and more pit lane action. Montoya takes on new tyres while his teammate has to queue up behind. Ralph and Trulli are battling for position, but pit stops haven't favoured the Schumacher brothers today. Ralph is halted by his right rear wheel. By the time he gets out, Trulli is long gone, but it's not Jarno's Renault he has to worry about. Ralph exits the pit lane into the path of Alonso and loses the back of the car, forcing Fernando to take avoiding action. With Webber's car now clear, Raikkonen streaks ahead. Villeneuve is fourth, but he has Button, Panis and Montoya waiting to pounce. Now it's Ralph's turn to take evasive action when Heidfeld's out-of-control Sauber crosses his path. Michael started on the wrong tyres, but he can scent victory and starts pushing Raikkonen, keeping the gap under a second. Never mind one-shot qualifying, the guns are blazing at BAR. Villeneuve apparently suffered radio problems and pitted a lap late, forcing new teammate Jenson Button to queue behind. No such problems at McLaren. Raikkonen pits from first, shortly after Michael. Montoya now leads. Third place Michael is in the zone, while second place Kimi struggles to get to grips with new tyres. Memories of France 2002 are not far away. Michael tries to go around the outside. But Kimi is having none of it and forces him onto the grass. Michael's lost momentum, but it's irrelevant now. Kimi loses his lead for being 1 km/h over the pit lane speed limit. A drive-through penalty drops him to 8th. Montoya pits for fuel only and is very quick on the gas. Now Michael leads, but it's all falling apart. The Ferrari is losing its barge boards. The rules stipulate that he must stop for safety checks, or he could be disqualified. He's no longer trailing any debris, but his car needs a once-over and a bit more fuel. No one predicted this. Montoya looks set for his second race win, if he can keep a resurgent Coulthard behind. But a 360-degree spin is not the way to restrain DC. Coulthard's debut win was here in 1997. It's been a remarkably low-key rise to first after qualifying only 11th. Juan Pablo has his work cut out keeping second. Raikkonen and an aerodynamically challenged Schumacher are still in his mirrors. It's a tense time for the McLaren mechanics. If Kimi can get close enough to 1, it could be a McLaren 1-2. But there are not enough laps left. Coulthard wins his 13th Grand Prix, his second in Melbourne. Even without his barge boards, Michael tries a last-ditch effort on the pit straight, but Kimi holds on to third. With a disintegrating car, the wrong tyres, and perhaps the wrong fuel strategy, he still finished fourth. Coulthard kicks off his championship assault in the best way possible, and that's without the new McLaren. Heinz-Harald Frentzen does well to net 6th, while Fernando Alonso and Ralf Schumacher benefit from the new scoring system. Australia marks Michelin's first monopoly of the podium since the company's return to F1 in 2001. But Montoya threw away the race win in the closing stages. He was leading when he had this spin. Where did he lay the blame?
I don't blame anybody but myself. I'm pretty good at that. And I've always been pretty hard on myself. I think the best comment was Patrick after the race said, put some really hard shoes, a pillow against the wall and kick it as hard as you can and get it out of your system and let's go to the next.